This is your one and only 𝐈𝐸𝐻 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another exciting episode of This Old Longhouse. So when we last left off, we had just completed this area here. We still have the dock to do back there, but I think we're going to save that for a completely separate episode on its own. And we also got our little pig pen done there and this area here, and we're almost done. We only have these last two houses back here in the back, and I have an idea of what I'm going to do with this one. Still not 100% sure with what I'm going to do with this one, but it will come to me as we do the thing. So what we're going to do with this one, we're going to start off here by going over here, and we're just going to get all this grass out of the way. All of this grass here has to go. Now that we got all of the grass out of the way, we are going to create a gentle slope here. I could flatten this, but if I do that, then we're going to have a really steep ledge here, and I don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of landscaping, and we are just going to slope this down and create a nice little gentle hill here. And with a little bit of work, we have created a nice little bit of landscaping here. You can see we got a nice smooth slope here, and it looks way better than it did. Now what we're going to do with this cabin is we're going to turn this into a woodcutter's hut. So we have a bunch of trees back here, and they're going to need wood for firewood, everything else. And I think that'll be a really good design for this hut here. Now it's starting to look much more like a little bit of a logging camp area here. And I think it's looking pretty good. We got the logs setting here, we got the chopping blocks, we got a place for people to sit down, we got the ads set up, and we even have a little drink area so they can take a break and have a drink. There's a few extra little odds and ends I want to add here, and we're going to do that on camera. So first thing we're going to do is place a few tankards around. So we're going to put one right here on the stump like that, and then I think I want to try to maybe fit, well, let's put one on this stump too. This looks like a good stump to put a couple of things on actually. So let's put a tankard right there, and put a thing right there and a thing right there. And we have these Odin tankers. We're going to grab one of those, and we are going to drop it down right like that. Now that I look at it, I don't like that. That's way too fancy for what we got going on here. We're going to put just a normal one there. All right, there we go. I like the way that's looking. Looks like there's work being done here. It looks active. Looks like there was just people here. And let's get something else on this one. So for this one, we're going to toss a little wolf jerky on there. Somebody was eating, that was somebody's lunch spot, and they're just, you know, they went off to do something else and they forgot it and left it there. I like the way that that is looking so far. I think that looks pretty good. There's one other thing I want to do, and there needs to be more wood around here storage wise. Now we do have wood storage over here, which is obviously where all of that wood is going when it's not being used to build, but I do want to put a little something around back here behind this house. So to do that, we're going to start off by just making all of this dirt, and that way it looks like it is traveled as well as the rest of this. And then we are going to chop down this little tree right here, get that out of the way. Now we're not going to do anything too crazy. What we're going to do is we're going to put one of these slanty pieces there like that, and one like that. That's going to give us a place for this roof piece to snap to, and now that should snap right in there like so. And then we're going to do the same thing there, and now we can just get that tree out of our view there and do something like that. And then we will grab these pieces here and snap those like that. Let's get the other one there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I like that. Now let's put a bit of a support structure here. I want to go for the log theme. I want to keep that going. I like the way that looks, and let's throw one across the top of it there. Hopefully that, yeah, that actually looks perfect. I love the way that looks. Okay, so now we're going to come over here. We're going to grab a few of the logs, and I think I like the way these look better. So we're just going to put a couple of those under there like so. And these, you can see it doesn't want to snap, but if we push it against the wall back there, we should, let's bring it up just a little bit. Then with the rest of them, something like that. Yeah, I love the way that looks. That looks absolutely fantastic. Now, something else I want to do is I feel like this area here, I feel like it would get muddy, right? When it rains, it's going to be muddy, and it's going to be muddy maybe the next day, and maybe they want to still work and they don't want to deal with the mud. So I want to try to do something where we have something for them to walk on. And in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our slanty piece here, and we're just going to see how this looks. So let's grab one of these and let's see, kind of push it. Yeah. I love that. Look at that. Okay, that's looking good. So then we're going to just do that a couple of more times here, kind of line them up. So let's get one right here, and let's go back over here and grab this again, line it up, and just kind of shove it down. And they don't need to be even. They're just logs that have been sunk into the ground to give people a little bit of footing to get out of the mud when they need to get out of the mud. Yeah, I like the way that looks. So I'm just going to place a few more of those. I'm going to place some towards the front here a little bit, and then maybe a couple right here where they stand a lot, and we'll see how that looks. All right, we're just going to have one there like that. We use the other logs for that one. That's looking really good right there. I love the way that looks, and I like the way this looks as well. I offset one just a little bit. Not everything needs to be straight and perfect. Life isn't straight and perfect. It's messy. Things should be a little bit messy from time to time. So there, yeah, I love the way that looks. They're just kind of sunk down in the ground. Like, it gives you something to walk on, like somebody was trying to create a makeshift floor there. And the same thing with this area here, just kind of sunk in the ground so they have something to stand on while they are chopping. This one here has a little bit of the stone path that they can stand on, so we're not going to take it there. Now, one thing that's bothering me here is this is cut off too clean. You can see it just goes straight across there like that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab this tool a little bit, and we're just going to go right to the edge there and see if we can just uneven that just a little bit. There we go, something like that. That looks good. Okay, that's it for that area. That was a pretty simple area to set up. It doesn't need a lot to be effective. If we take a look at it here from a distance, that looks like a logging area. I mean, because it is. We got the chopping blocks, we have the adze, we have a place to set. It looks active because we have the mead barrel and the tankards, and it turned out absolutely fantastic. Now, there is one other thing actually that I do want to add that I forgot to add, and that is just a tiny bit of light to continue with the lighting that we do have throughout the village. And what we're going to do for that is we're just going to put one of those right there, just like that. And then we are going to put one of those there, just like, actually, I don't like it there. We're going to move it out towards the front of there, just a little bit like that. That's looking pretty good. And in the back here, we're just going to put a wooden one. It's like somebody just threw it up real quick there in the back. All right. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it looks good. Let me know what you guys think about it down there in the comment section. Do you think it looks like a logging area? Do you think I did a good job? Do you hate it? Did it give you inspiration to do your own thing? What do y'all think? Now, honestly, for this area here, I think I'm going to leave this pretty much the way it is. We're going to do a little bit of landscaping right here in the corner of this house right here. But the majority of this, I'm just going to leave it. Not everything needs to have every little detail done to it. Some of it is just, I mean, the map itself is beautiful. Look back there. It looks great. So what we're going to do is just the tiniest bit of landscaping here in front of this house. And in order to do that, we're just going to create a little bit of dirt right here, like so. We're going to leave a little bit of that grass creep along there. That's pretty much all we're doing for that area right there. Just a little bit of shrubbery action going on, and I think it looks great. So now what we're going to do, we're just going to fill that back in with some grass like so, and there we go. I think that looks good. Now I do want a little bit of light here. I feel like this area needs just a little bit of light to brighten it up. It's a little dark over here. I just want to brighten it a little bit. We're just going to put a torch right there on the side, outside of that. We're going to do more probably with this when we do some interior decorating, but I want to get a feel for the outside of everything first, and that area needed to be brightened up a little bit. All right, now that we have all of that done, I think I'm going to do the dock. I know I said just a little bit ago that I was going to save the dock for its own episode, but I don't shoot this continuously. I shoot this when I get inspiration to build, so these videos are shot over the process of many days. Anyway, I decided that that the dock I want to keep simple. I was going to make some grand thing, but then I decided, you know what? It wouldn't fit in the village. The village itself is relatively simple. So if I did a grand dock, it would look out of place. So we're going to do a relatively simple dock. So for this, we're going to start right here from where we ended the path. I thought about taking it out just a little bit more, but then I decided not to. We're going to widen it right here. So this snaps because of the way these work. If we have the little half pieces, they naturally want to snap on both sides, but I want it to be centered and widen up. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to hold down shift, and then we're just going to have to kind of eye this up, and I think that should be just about center. Let's take a look here. All right, there we go. That looks pretty good right there. So from there, we're just going to bring this out like that, and then I like the log look, so we're going to use the logs as our supports because those feel more dock-like than the square beams do to me. Just a personal preference. So we're going to snap those in there like that. And then we are going to grab the longer ones and we're going to snap them down in there because I don't think the shorter ones will sink all the way down. And then we are going to grab this like that. And I want this to widen up, but you know what? I think I'm just going to square it off. Now that we have that, we need to continue with a little bit of railing around the edge here. Not going to lie, that took me a hot minute to figure out how I wanted it and what to do. So we started off using the wall pieces, the one by one wall pieces here, and they snapped right in, and I had them facing out because I like that little bit of texture that it gives there. Then I only did every other one and I filled those gaps in with sign pieces. I feel like that creates a nice little textured look from where it goes super skinny to where it widens up a little bit. And then I realized once I got out here that I could swap back to this texture here using the doors because they sunk down in, and then we could cover up the bottom part of them with the beams here. So you can see nothing sticks through because they're stuck halfway down in here. Overall, I think that turned out pretty well. I like it. It's multi-textured. It looks, I don't know, interesting to me, and I think it turned out well. Now what I want to do is I want to add a little bit of lighting. So for our lighting though, we are going to use the wooden torches, and I want them to be sunk down inside of the structure just a little bit so they're not super tall. So we're actually going to delete that. It's being very finicky, but I can snap it right in there like so. Now if we go back over here to our half doors and we snap our half door in here facing the right way. There we go. Now it's not super tall, and it just kind of sticks out of there like a little torch. I would prefer it to be a little more centered than what it is, but I think that's the best we're going to get. So now I'm just going to do that on each of the corners. Now that we have our dock all lit up and we have everything blocked out and looking good, now it's time to add a little life to it, because right now it just looks bland and plain. It's just a square platform. So let's liven it up. And after much frustration later, getting some things the way that I wanted them, we finally have it here. This is our dock. I think it turned out really well. I'll have to pick this back up later and then place it back when I do other things, because I often run the command to remove all drops, and we just kind of had to throw that out because you can't just place them the way you want to. That one's standing up back there, not the way I want it, but it gets the job done, gets the point across. It's a fishing area. We got some knives going on, hanging out. We got some fish hanging. We got a barrel back here for like scraps or whatever, and somebody was sitting here and got up and left their tankard and their knife sitting here, and yeah, I think it turned out really well. I like it, and I think that's a good wrapping up point for this video. If you enjoyed this episode and you found it helpful and informational and inspiring, all that good stuff, consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other episodes. And I also created a playlist for this series. Finally, you'll find a link for it down in the description. You can hop down there and check out the whole series, as well as be notified when I upload additional episodes to this series. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to my supporters on Patreon for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to join my elite crew Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.